What's up, Nom Nommers? For today's recipe, we are visiting Jurassic World, although this recipe seems like something that these two might cook up. It takes a total of 12 eggs to make this, so it had better be good. What are we making? Egg Thief Omelet from the Jurassic World Cookbook. Let's dig in. I started by cooking my turkey bacon. Personally, I like baking it in the oven because it's less messy. When they were done, I wrapped up the turkey bacon in aluminum foil and set it aside for later. Next, I took a 12 by 17-inch baking sheet and covered it with parchment paper. If you're making this at home, be sure to leave yourself a decent buffer of parchment paper around the edges. You'll see why later. In a small bowl, I added 1 cup of Monterey Jack cheese, 1 cup of Parmigiano Reggiano, 2 tablespoons of chives, and a couple grinds of black pepper. Then I mixed it to combine. Now it was time for the eggs. In a large bowl, I added 12 eggs, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of heavy cream, and whisked them together. Then I added most of my cheese and chive mix, saving about a half cup for later. I gave it a quick mix and then poured it onto my prepared baking sheet. And here is why you want the excess parchment paper. The excess will prevent the eggs from running underneath your parchment paper. Trust me, when I first made a dish like this, I cut the parchment paper short and the egg mix ran right underneath and made a huge mess. It was really frustrating. Next, I carefully transferred this to a 350-degree oven. After about 18 minutes, my eggs were cooked through. I sprinkled the remaining cheese on them, layered on my turkey bacon, covered it, and let it rest for about 4 minutes. Now it was time for the tricky part. I quickly transferred the omelet to my cutting board using the excess parchment paper like handles. See, it came in handy again. Then I carefully rolled the omelet up just like a Swiss roll. Timing is key on this. You have to work somewhat quickly because you don't want your filling to fall out. Also, the eggs are hot. But you don't want to move so quickly that you end up ripping your omelet, like I did at the end. Don't worry, I'll just cut off that bit. Lastly, you'll want to transfer to your serving platter, again moving carefully, and garnish with some chives. Now to see how it tastes. The omelet tastes exactly like you would expect, like turkey bacon and cheesy eggs. What really elevates it is the actual presentation. I do think the dish would benefit from a little bit of salt. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I think if you salted the actual omelet itself, it would taste just a little bit better. I also want to acknowledge how thoughtfully the cookbook presented this recipe. There are a couple of key moments where one wrong move could really set you back. The cookbook anticipated those moments and really wrote some great instructions to help you navigate them. Would I make this recipe again? I think this is a great dish if you have company coming over and you need to feed them all breakfast. It looks super fancy, and once you know what you're doing, it's actually pretty easy to whip up. Thank you so much for watching this recipe review. If you've made this dish, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more. Until next time.